Hello people, and welcome to my next update video. As you can see so far, I've got most of the main building that I was building to cover up the handle of the layout completed. Still needs roof cladding and various other little details. But the main part's there. That was the initial aim as it is at the moment. Apologies for the shaky camera work, using a different camera at the moment. So what I have done next is I've had a play with ideas as to how the buildings are fitting. And what we have so far, we have a hole drilled for the first of the connectors to go through. The connectors I'm using on the wires are 4mm banana plugs. We'll go to the controller, and they plug into these little connectors here. Because of the size of the building and the construction of the baseboard, the frame comes right alongside here, which is why the hole is where it is, and that should be in the middle of one of the buildings. The amount of screw thread on the connectors isn't enough to fit through the depth of the baseboard, so that hole's there oversized, and I will somehow make a plate, maybe 1mm thick, that'll sit over that, screw that onto. So yeah, first hole is there. I've measured up the buildings, and the plan is to drill another hole right here, and that will be in the next building. So I shall go and drill that, and then come back in a moment with the next stage of where we're at. Okay, so I've now got the second hole drilled, and the plan for the buildings is to use this Metcalf kit, the warehouse kit PN182, and to the first part of the building will be the warehouse front is planned to sit over the left hand side of the board, and I've already built the tower that comes with the kit, so that will sit over the other one. Probably can't see, let's have a look. I have just about seen there, cut a hole in the lower level floor essentially, for the height of the connector to reach through. And on the warehouse building, I've just started working on that. There's a low level floor piece, which again I've cut a hole through, so that will sit above the cutout in the board, and then the first floor sit higher up, and that's for the height of the connector to reach through. So I shall continue with building that kit, and hopefully it will fit with the connectors fitting within those holes, and they'll be disguised by the buildings. So I shall carry on with that now and see what it looks like. Right, it's been a day since my last bit of video was recorded, so hopefully I'll remember what everything I need to cover with this part of the update. As you can see, I now have a clear plastic plate with a connector mounted in it. So here's one of the wires to the connectors. So that just plugs in there quite nicely. The position of the screws holding the plate in, all dependent on the frame, runs across there like I said before. But yeah, it seems to be strong enough for plugging the connectors in and out of. That was actually made from won't be able to see this very clearly because of the light, in a packet of blank DVDs that you can burn your own stuff on is a clear plastic disc without the actual part on that you burn the data to. So that's what I've used, just because I've got it to hand and it seems quite a strong plastic. So I've cut that out and drilled the holes through and fitted the first connector in place. I've also partially built, can't see because the light's in the wrong place, partially built the, there we go, light down, the warehouse building. So far I've only attached the 2 floors which have the hole in for the connector to sit through. Part of the problem with the construction of this is the way the floors are supported in the middle. They have these triangular sections in, so that limits the size of the hole for the connector to sit through, which could be a bit of a problem, because while checking this connector, placing the tower over it works just about. It's a bit tight for space in there, but I managed to snap off the wire that goes into the connector. Now these connectors aren't the original connectors that came on the wire. It's the wire is from the basic Bachmann train set controller, so that plugs into the back of the controller, that end, and basically the wires on the end, I've cut off the Bachmann connector that goes to the track, and these connectors inside the plastic sleeve part there, it's just a little grub screw that the wires screw into. But yeah, one of those snapped off while I was checking the connector fitted with the wires, with the tower on top of it. So they're slightly different lengths now. But so I've refitted that easy enough, but if it's possible that the wires are going to break, I might need more space inside the building, which is difficult because of the narrow width of the tower. There isn't much space for the wire. The wire has to basically bend 180 degrees on itself, come down alongside the connector. So it's possible the movement of doing that every time. If I can do this one-handed. So yeah, so the wire has to do that basically to fit inside. So I don't know if I keep doing that, snapped the wire off, but I don't want to have to keep screwing it back in on a regular basis. So I might have to modify the buildings slightly more. The tower, I don't suppose, would be too hard to cut an opening in the back. But it's difficult to say with the construction of it. Now the warehouse building, I don't know. I'll give it a go as it is for now. Let's see what happens. If I have to cut a larger opening in it to support the to give space for the wire, then that's what I got to do. But we shall see. So yeah, the next thing to do is make another plate with the connector attached to for this hole. Check the warehouse building fits over it, no problems. Hopefully there won't be. I'll have a think about what I can do about the wire as well. And I think I'll leave this update as it is for now, so I can get this online and show everyone where we are. Then once I'm happy that that works, I'll solder the connector up. At the moment I've still got the wires loose. Once I've got the other connector in and I'm happy the buildings will go over them okay, I'll get the wires soldered to those connectors. And then, yeah, it's probably time for a video showing the actual operation of the layout once I've done that. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next update with hopefully a mostly operational, complete, completely operational layout demo. Yeah, the buildings will take a bit more time, but yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.